told me once that I was crazy, but I can't just go away. So don't get me started now. I want it, yes I don't want babies, cause they.
D4vd. Did what? Listen, I need you to sit down for this one because the internet has been on fire and this story just keeps getting darker and darker by the day. So by now, most of you have probably heard that D4vd, yes, that same 21-year-old singer-songwriter who had all of us singing romantic homicide and crying over here with me, has been arrested on suspicion of the murder of a 14-year-old girl named Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And the details coming out of those court documents are absolutely chilling. But here's what nobody is really talking about: the patterns. The way this whole situation unfolded, it rhymes with something we've seen before. And that something has a name. It's called Sean Diddy Combs. Now, before y'all come for me in the comments, I'm not saying they're the same person. I'm saying the playbook looks awfully familiar. The secrecy, the grooming, the power imbalance, the industry protecting the artists until they simply could not anymore. And just like with Diddy, the warning signs were hiding in plain sight, right there in the music. And we all just danced to it anyway. Grab a seat because there is a lot to unpack here. Okay, so unless you've been completely off the grid, you know that Sean Combs, Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever name he was going by that week, is now a convicted felon sitting in a federal prison after being found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution, following one of the most explosive celebrity trials in recent memory. The word freak-offs has now entered the public consciousness permanently. Over 1,000 bottles of baby oil were seized from his properties. Girl, over 1,000.
And we are following breaking news right now coming out of South Florida. Chopper 6 live right now. This is over the Star Island home of rapper P. Diddy, where 4 law enforcement sources tell NBC News that a search warrant has been executed by federal agents with Homeland Security investigations. Now we're hearing another search warrant has been executed at his home in Los Angeles.
Now at this point, it's unclear why. We know that the rapper, whose real name is Sean Combs, has faced accusations of sex trafficking in recent months. Last year, singer Cassie sued Combs, accusing him of abuse. That lawsuit was settled, but more women later sued, accusing Combs of sexual abuse. ABC6's Christian Colon is on the way to the scene and will bring us a live report coming up.
And to make matters even worse, a whole ecosystem of enablers, industry players, and silent bystanders apparently let this happen for years. The same people who attended his famous white parties. The same people who took his calls and cashed his checks. Nobody said a word. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because D4vd's situation, while different in its specific allegations, carries so many of the same fingerprints. And if you're new here, by the way, smash that subscribe button because we are just getting started.
6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7. No.
D4vd, real name David Anthony Burke, grew up in Houston, Texas, started making music at 17 on his phone, literally in his sister's closet, and blew up on TikTok when Romantic Homicide went viral in 2022. By 2025, this kid was performing at Coachella, had a record deal with Interscope, had brand deals with Crocs and Hollister, and released his debut album, Withered. He was everything the industry wanted. Young, talented, with a massive online following built from gaming culture and Gen Z nostalgia. But according to prosecutors in Los Angeles, something else was happening behind all of that. According to court filings, Burke first made contact with Celeste Rivas Hernandez in January 2022. She was 11 years old. They reportedly connected through his official Discord server, the same gaming community space he used to build his early fan base. She reportedly lived with him at points in his Hollywood Hills rental, traveled with him to Las Vegas, London, and Texas, and even met his family. The court documents allege a sexual relationship began in late 2023, when she was 13 and he was a legal adult at 18.
Today, I am announcing the charges against David Anthony Burke, the musician known as David, spelled D4vd, in connection with the brutal and horrific murder of Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time. These charges include the most serious charges that a DA's office can bring. That is first-degree murder with special circumstances. The special circumstances being lying in wait, committing this crime for financial gain, or murdering a witness in an investigation. These special circumstances carry with it, along with the first-degree murder charge, a maximum sentence of life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty.
Mind you, this is the same artist whose music video for Romantic Homicide features imagery of a bloodied woman. The same artist whose video for One More Dance depicts a person being stuffed into a car trunk. Word on the street is, we were looking at confessions and calling them aesthetics. Now tell me how that doesn't sound familiar. Because Diddy also built an infrastructure around access. The difference is Diddy used fame and parties and record deals. D4vd allegedly used Discord servers and Fortnite montages. Different era, same exploitation. Different platform, same predatory architecture. And to make matters even worse, the alleged motive prosecutors are presenting makes this even harder to stomach. According to the 8-page court brief filed by the LA County District Attorney's Office, by April 2025, Celeste was becoming increasingly frustrated. She had been texting him about the nature of their relationship, reportedly writing, "All we do is have sex and just hang out, man. I want more than that for myself." She also allegedly confronted him about seeing other women, and then she threatened to go public. According to prosecutors, on April 22, 2025, they had a lengthy argument over text. The next day, Burke allegedly called an Uber to bring her to his home. She never left. Prosecutors alleged that Burke then purchased a body bag, 2 chainsaws, and a shovel online under a fictitious name, had them delivered to his Hollywood Hills home, and proceeded to conceal what he had done. He then left on his concert tour. Her remains were discovered months later in September 2025 in the front trunk of his impounded Tesla by a tow yard worker who reported the smell. The DA's office described the measures Burke allegedly took as horrifying. That's the official word, horrifying. Oh, honey, it doesn't stop there. Prosecutors also say they found what they described as a significant amount of child pornography on Burke's iCloud account. He is facing first-degree murder with special circumstances, lewd and lascivious acts upon a child under 14, and mutilation of human remains. They are also considering seeking the death penalty. Now, do I need to draw you the Diddy comparison again? Because Diddy's prosecutors also described an infrastructure of concealment, filming, controlling, silencing. The scale is different. The specifics are different. But the core of it, a powerful man using access and control to exploit someone with far less power. That part reads the same. And if you're enjoying this breakdown and haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Click that button right now, because we cover all of this messy Hollywood tea so you don't have to wade through it alone. Now, I want to talk about the music for a second, because one of the most unsettling things about this entire situation, much like with Diddy, is how much was hiding in plain sight. Kali Uchis pulled their collab crashing from streaming. Laufey pulled This Is How It Feels. Holly Humberstone removed Super Blood Moon. Damiano David reissued his entire album to replace the song featuring Burke. Universal Music Group helped artists scrub their collaborations. YouTube demonetized and suspended his account. Epic Games issued refunds to Fortnite players who had purchased in-game items connected to his music. That is an industry-wide evacuation, and that only happens when the situation is not ambiguous. Mind you, this is the same music industry that had plenty of receipts on Diddy for years and still kept showing up to his parties, still kept accepting his features, still kept calling him a visionary. The evacuation only happens after the arrest. The silence happens before it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that's the part that should scare us the most. Not just D4vd, not just Diddy, the whole structure that lets this go on. Celeste Rivas was reported missing multiple times by her family, multiple times, and she was 14. Word on the street is that she had been living in his Hollywood Hills home for stretches at a time, a 14-year-old far from her family in Lake Elsinore. And somehow that did not trigger the level of intervention it should have. Her family tried. Her brother told KNBC that she went missing after Burke picked her up in his car. Her mother knew she had a boyfriend named David. They had matching tattoos. So where does this leave us? Diddy got 50 months. He'll be out by 2028 if he keeps his head down. His $100 million defamation lawsuit against NBC Universal was just dismissed by a New York court, with the judge essentially saying his reputation was already in ruins before any documentary aired. 3,000 alleged victims and counting, an empire built on talent, intimidation, and silence. And now D4vd, a kid who built his fame on teenage bedrooms and video games and a song called Romantic Homicide, is sitting in LA County Men's Central Jail, facing the possibility of the death penalty, with prosecutors building a case that connects grooming, exploitation, murder, and concealment into one ugly, heartbreaking picture. The difference between Diddy and D4vd, at least at this point in the legal process, Diddy's victims were adults who were allegedly coerced. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was 14 years old. She was a middle school student from Lake Elsinore whose family immigrated from El Salvador. She was not a celebrity. She was not connected. She was just a kid who met a rising musician online when she was 11. And according to everything prosecutors are alleging, never really had a chance after that. In typical industry fashion, everyone knew the name D4vd before anyone knew the name Celeste. Let that sit with you.
A community coming together in solemn tribute tonight to remember a life cut short.
Yeah, a vigil was held in Lake Elsinore for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She is, as Corrine mentioned, the teenager whose decomposed remains were discovered in the trunk of a Tesla and then tied to a popular singer named David. Rachel Menitoff joining us live in Hollywood now with that story. Rachel?
Rick, Corrine, good evening to you both. Many parents and classmates attended tonight. Some told us they didn't know Celeste well, but they can put themselves in her family's shoes and realize this could have happened to someone they love and care for. A Lake Elsinore community mourning the suspicious death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. While we don't know how she died, the teen's decomposed body was found inside a Tesla at a Hollywood tow lot after someone reported a stench coming from the car, which happens to be registered to popular R&B singer David.
This really hits home as a mom, and this could have been anybody's kid.
Celeste was last seen alive in April 2024 in her hometown of Lake Elsinore, about 60 miles southeast of LA. She was 13 at the time. Her mom tells TMZ her daughter had a boyfriend named David, and both David and Rivas reportedly had matching tattoos on their index fingers. Last week, LAPD detectives searched a home in the Hollywood Hills where the performer stayed and were seen leaving with a computer and other items.
Dios te salve María, llena eres.
Tonight, amidst this large group of mourners, is a hope for clarity and answers about Celeste's disappearance and untimely death.
I feel really bad for what happened to her because the story is so messed up, and it's like, I don't even know what to say. My friend told me about it, and it's like, I never imagined that would happen.
And David seems to have canceled the rest of his U.S. tour, which was scheduled to wrap up in L.A. and San Francisco, as his involvement in the case becomes more of a focal point. A representative for him tells us that he is fully cooperating with the investigation. We're live in Hollywood tonight. I'm Rachel Menitoff. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
People have been weighing in heavily on social media, like this person who said, the fact that she was reported missing multiple times and nobody connected the dots is the real scandal here. The system failed her before D4vd ever did. Another person said, D4vd and Diddy operate in completely different ways, but the common thread is use your platform to isolate, control, and then silence. The technology changes. The predation doesn't. And someone else put it very simply. She had matching tattoos with him at 14. That alone tells you everything you need to know about how long this was going on. Girl, it's a mess. And the fact that we're still learning new details about the iCloud evidence, about the text messages, about the trip she allegedly took with him, means this story is far from over. Burke has pleaded not guilty. His defense attorney, Blair Burke, has said the actual evidence will show he did not murder Celeste. So there is still a legal process to play out. But the court of public opinion has already filed its brief. Now I want to know your thoughts. Do you think the music industry has a systemic problem with protecting predators until the moment it becomes legally impossible to do so? And do you think the parallels between D4vd and Diddy are real? Or are people drawing conclusions too quickly? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.